All right, good evening. We'll call the meeting to order, please, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and welcome, everyone, to our meeting tonight. Roll call, Mr. Lundberg.
Holm.
Yes.
Odie. Yes. Saxer.
Yes.
Scott. Yes. Bell. Yes.
All right, if there are no changes that need to be made to the agenda, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented, please.
So moved. Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. No conflict of interest disclosure or waiver requests this evening, and I don't believe there's any community input, so that takes us to general business. Under oral reports, our first item is a good news report from Cup of Joy at the Brandon Valley High School Special Education Program.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to introduce probably the most popular group that we have in our school between kids and teachers and everybody, our Cup of Joy team. So with us, we have Miss Maggie Youngberg, Miss Victoria Heinrichs, and Miss Julie Murphy, as well as Stephen Christensen, Lily Layfelt, and Caitlin James. They're here to talk to you about Cup of Joy and hopefully get to share some with you later tonight. So.
Okay, so, Cup of Joy is a coffee cart, a movable coffee cart that first period and second period English, life skills, English and math, take around the school to teachers' rooms and deliver coffee. We have a ordering sheet that goes out every week, and then we look at the ordering sheet and we organize it by hallways and like parts of the building and where it's at, and then we deliver the coffee. So we're gonna have the kids kind of explain what it is that we do, and then some different skills that they learn, and then talk about their favorite parts of Cup of Joy. Okay? So Stephen, what is Cup of Joy? What do we work on? What kind of skills? Yep. And we call Cup of Joy is a job, right? So we work on employability skills. Yep. And we do that by on-site, hands-on type stuff, right? Okay? We'll go to the next slide. Maybe he can read some. Thank you. All right, here are some skills. So what are some things that you do when we start Cup of Joy? Do you know some? Some things we work on. What do we do?
I do deliver coffee.
Yeah, we deliver coffee, yep. Well, what do we
Make coffee.
yep. And what else do we do? What do we put around the cups?
I do coffee leaves.
Coffee sleeves, yep. So we write handwritten notes on the coffee sleeves every week. Stephen, come over here real quick. What's another skill we work on? Come into the microphone, bud. Right here. What's another skill we work on? What do we do on Fridays after we deliver them?
Advertise
Alphabetize. Teacher's name.
by teacher's name,
Yep. So we have punch cards.
so that we have punch cards so that we can make class the punches off.
Yep. We cross off the punches, right? Good.
The day that they got the coffee,
Yeah. Their fifth coffee. Right?
the fifth coffee,
What happens next time?
they get their sixth coffee for free.
Free, yeah. Awesome.
and then they get it, like, then they, get another punch card,
Yep, we're hoping they do. Yep.
then they, then they, ha- then they start, then they start it all over again.
Yep, they start all over. Good job. Lily, what's another skill we work on? Like if somebody doesn't have a punch card and they, what do they pay with normally?
So they usually pay with cash.
Yep, pay with cash. So we have a money box, right?
Yep.
Yep, so we have to work on.
So we have to work on like giving change back.
Yep, good. Okay. Any other ones we didn't touch on up there? Anything else, Caitlin? Okay. Can't see the slide. What is that?
Do we have to clean up when we're done?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What do we do to clean up?
We have to like clean the pots. Restock all the coffee stuff, like creamer.
What's your favorite job to do?
I really like passing out notes and chocolates to people.
That's kind of Lily's job, which is awesome. So with every delivery, she gives a note and then a piece of chocolate or candy. Sometimes we cook in IT or bake, and then we give out those baked goods, too. Yep. What's your favorite? You want to name a favorite thing that you do?
I like go down the tree.
Yep.
Taking turns delivering drinks because I like seeing the teachers helping my friends make the coffee and deliver them. I like earning money from the coffee cart to do fun things with my friends.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about maybe what we did. Can you come over? Yep. Good job, Stephen. Tell them what we did. We went on that field trip. What did we do when we earned our money? You want to talk about the field trip? Okay. So when we earned our money, we went on a field trip.
I like earning money and doing fun things with my friends.
Yeah. What did we do?
Delivering coffee
Right, but where did we go?
on the field trip.
Yeah, we went on a field trip, right? What did we do?
On the yak
Yep. Yickety Yak Coffee Shop, right?
bowling
We went bowling,
and lunch.
we went to lunch, and we got to bring who?
My friends. Best buddies.
Yeah, we got to bring a buddy along. It was awesome. Good job. Very cool. Lily, anything you want to add to that? Said you like passing out chocolates. I like seeing and talking to all the teachers. I like to talk to all the teachers.
I also like talking to all the teachers too.
Love using our money to go on a field trip with my friends.
And I also love using our money to go on our field trip with friends.
Anything else you want to add at all? But what do we have for everybody over there? Yep, we made some coffee for everybody. We didn't make enough handwritten sleeves, so we apologize. And Lily does not have enough notes. or candy, but there is coffee over there. So we'll deliver some to you guys if you want some of that. Anything else, guys? Thank you guys so much for letting us visit and talk about it. Appreciate it. I'll get some coffee. I'll grab some coffee. Get some coffee. Good job. You did great.
Do you want to go ahead, or should we wait? Let them clean up a little bit? Okay. Well, thank you very much again for coming, you guys. We're going to enjoy our coffee for it, so to make the meeting much more bearable to get through, so I appreciate it very much. All right, with that, superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Impossible to follow up that group, there's no question about it. Great job, Cup of Joy. Thank you so much for being here. Certainly appreciate the staff and their commitment to our kids and coming up with this creative program that is providing our kids with authentic learning opportunities and tremendous employability skills. So great job, staff, much appreciated. Couple of items to update the board on here. This evening, we continue to monitor our pipeline situation. Professional awards, I would note the employee recognition banquet is Tuesday, May 2nd at 6 p.m. at in the Brandon Valley High School Commons. Would certainly want to communicate that respective date and time, as well as celebrating retirements and years of service. We also announced the Brandon Valley School District Teacher of the Year, so great opportunity to recognize our staff for all of their accomplishments, as well as the longevity of many staff members, and then also wish those well that are heading off into that next phase of retirement. In terms of our budget process, we'll have our preliminary budget hearing in the month of May, and you will look to approve that budget and ultimately, you will have a preliminary budget presentation in May. You will have your public budget hearing and potential action here in July at our annual meeting. Next month, I will be bringing forward an official action for the board to take in terms of the annual meeting, moving it to the third Monday of July, which is July 17th, 2023. So just an item to note, that's coming next meeting. In terms of next year's academic calendar, the one item that we just want to continue to reinforce to folks is that August 25th, 2023 is our first day for kindergartners. The 23rd serves as the first day for all those grades 1 through 12. Our kindergartners have family visits to the classroom on the 23rd and 24th, and then they start school on Friday, August 25th. And then our first day for early childhood is on Monday, August 28th. We continue to work with the preliminary work associated with our East Side Elementary School construction progress. That preliminary work with our architecture, our Buildings and Grounds Committee is ongoing. Just to inform folks, we'll begin to meet with and speak with our employee groups, et cetera, here this spring and next fall. And then we'll look to bid that project in November, December of 2023. Construction begins in the spring of 2024 will be under construction the entire 24-25 school year, with the building opening in the fall of 2025 for the 25-26 school year. Again, we want to continue to communicate that the building will be built with no additional tax burden on our patrons. That'll be funded through capital outlay certificates. So prior planning and work and fiscal responsibility has set us up to take on this endeavor in that way. So critically important to continue to communicate that to our patrons as we move through the process. In terms of this academic school calendar, would note that graduation is on Sunday, May 14th. Would ask the Board of Education to meet in the high school commons at about 1:45, usually about 15 minutes prior to commencement ceremony. We will meet on the north end of the commons, kind of by the trophy cases and display cases towards the Performing Arts Center. So we'll meet in that corner. In terms of high school addition, no change to the important dates, no change to the priorities. Just provide you a couple of updates here in terms of the project. Area A classroom, I'd tell you that finish work is in progress, so you're starting to see whiteboards are being installed, those various types of things are going in. Our in-class amplification sound systems, those types of pieces are going in. So finish work in Area A is ongoing. Another shot here of an Area A classroom with the finish work going on. This is the Area A clear story. Just wanted to highlight, this was one of the features that was put in to draw that natural light into the respective classrooms and additions. So that's come together very nicely. Door frames are being painted in Area A. That's another item I guess I would note. Area B, so classroom, interior classroom works. Now we really are shifting to the rough-ins as well as ceiling grid and those various things. But obviously you've got tape texture done, you've got painting done, et cetera. So they're continuing on with interior construction in Area B classrooms. This is Area C, so this is our two-story addition. This is a first floor image. Masonry is currently in progress. Steel stud framing is currently in progress, so that continues to go in Area C. In addition to that, they're putting in the windows right now, windows and window frames in Area C. Area A exterior, you'll start to see some site work, some grading site work, some exterior dirt work really start to take shape here as they start to get into the preliminary phases of that and preparations for the pouring of asphalt and sidewalks and all of those respective things. The storefront has gone in. This is actually separating Area A and Area B, but you can see the storefront's gone in. And then I would just note that the dark material above the storefront, that is the location that gets like the splash of red. When we look at the image from the architect, that's an example of where like that splash of red will go on that building. Area C, this was when they were putting in the windows here, or window frames late last week. Would note that all of the exterior masonry and precast is done, and now they are finishing up in Area C in terms of masonry work. This would be the northwest side of Area C. As you can see here, masonry is done, window frames are not yet in. And then I just took finally just a shot of the splash of red that will go on and tie that building all together. But overall progress continues. No change to timeline and or priorities at this point. Madam Chair, that's all I have this evening. Would certainly entertain any questions you have.
All right, hearing no questions, we will continue. Thank you, Superintendent Larson. No board policy tonight. That takes us to our first item under general business to approve 2022-23 academic calendar modification.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No change to the last day of school for students. That remains June 1st with the workshop day on June 2nd. After we approved our last calendar modification, we had a weather day. So what ultimately ends up happening now is instead of there being one flexible curriculum development planning day, there will now be two flexible curriculum development planning days. Here in, I would say, the next couple of weeks, we'll kick out memorandum to our certified staff outlining what the expectations are for those days. Ultimately, it'll need to be completed between June 5th and June 30th during the fiscal year, and it outlines for them a number of items in which they may elect to work on during their flexible curriculum development planning days. So no change to the actual academic calendar for students, just simply approval of a second flexible curriculum development planning day for staff.
I would entertain a motion to approve the 2022-2023 academic calendar modification.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. I would entertain a motion to approve items 2 through 6 under the consent agenda. There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Personnel, I would entertain a motion to approve items 1 through 28.
So moved.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Items 29 to 37 are for your information only. I don't believe there are any items under communication. That takes us to formal board reports. Does anyone have a report they'd like to share tonight?
Transportation met Thursday evening, and we basically went over what is materialized over the past 8 months or so. And everything has been going quite well. We've talked about the elimination of in-district open enrollment. No, I'll start all over. Elimination of in-district elementary enrollment transportation, and also utilizing of the centralized pickups, which was a great big plus as far as making things really work good this year. We also talked about the bus routes. There's 24 AM runs, and there's also 24 PM runs that go out along with your sped buses and sped routes. The total inventory of the fleet that we have is 37 buses, 2 minibuses, 14 Suburbans, 6 or 8 vans, 4 cars, and 9 pickups. We also have received over this school year a wheelchair van. We've also received a maintenance pickup, and we've also received, or we're going to receive 2 more propane school buses for the next coming year, hopefully, cross our fingers. And then also for next year, we're looking at certain days, like as far as you letting the timetable, as far as letting people know if you're going to ride the bus. We're going to start advertising about the 5th of July, and the deadline will be the 28th of July. So after that, if you do not register, your kids will not be riding the bus till late, first part of October. So it's a must that you get signed up in the month of July, because that's a must. And it's been going on like this for quite a few years, and it seems there's been less and less people that it impacts as far as messing up the route. So, and let's see, long term, nothing in concrete yet, but we are talking about no busing zones in the effect of the 2024-25 school year. Like I said, it's not in concrete, so there's just startup talk of how we do this, just to make us more effective and more efficient as far as getting kids to and from school. So that was sort of a wrap-up.
One other point I want to make was, obviously, we want to thank Gil Hogan, because when we talk about transportation, we talk about this north side, whether it's staff or students. They've done a great job, and so we're trying to thank them for keeping that lane clear when those times are busy. So they've been great to work with. Also, if anybody knows anybody that wants to be a bus driver or even Suburbans, anything, we're always looking for more drivers. So.
Thank you. Anyone else have a report?
Just a quick update on the ASBSD Spring Retreat that we did have this last weekend. Obviously, I do represent the Southeast region, but it's not easy to hide that we come from Brandon Valley. So first, the perspective coming from the Brandon Valley District, it's an absolute privilege to represent our district. They recognized and came and asked many questions. A big topic of discussion was strategic planning, and there are many, many districts across the state of South Dakota that do not have a strategic plan, and they recognized many failings and shortcomings because they do not have one. So I just want to commend our leadership, our administrators, Dr. Larson, Paul, and the board for not only having a strategic plan, but having a working strategic plan, because it does guide where we go. Also having many performance measures that we use and look to other than just the state performance measures. And that is very, very key when we talk to our legislators, because they are looking and want to know, do we know where we're at? Do we know where we're going? And do we know the goals that we are behind and where we're wanting to exceed? Negotiations was a hot topic. We by far exceeded the average, and we did set the very top. So that was also fun to be able to talk about that. The other thing that we were absolutely kind of at the top for was weather days. They were shocked that we are not making up as many as there are some districts that are making up 12 days. And then some. And so I don't know if they plan on going to school till like July 5th. I have no idea. But it was interesting to find out some of the strategies. So they will be reaching out to different administrators, I'm sure, and talking about this planning and strategic planning and how you set goals. And that was just very, very fun to be able to talk about that. Looking at more the Southeast region and the state as a whole, there are two topics that were very hot topics other than teacher pay and finances for public education that will resurface again next year. One is vouchers for private schooling. Why I say that those are dangerous, obviously we're taking money away from public education. They did get quite a few legs to that. We do have a legislator that does cross over into the Brandon Valley District out of Del Rapids, who is firing daggers and will be very active even when it's not legislative season. So it is something that we need to continue to keep our eyes and be very vigilant against. It may look a little bit different next year, but they're going to try to etch their way everything they can to get their claws into why public education is not as great as private, and they want the money to go the other way. Social studies standards, I know that's not a great topic either. Some of the things that we just want to make sure that we're getting out there is, yes, they are set right now, but that's probably not how they're going to look when it's all baked out. They don't roll out till 2025, and it's only 2023. Why did it happen the way it happened? Just to be honest and truthful, is it was the governor's initiative. And when the governor has an initiative, it's hard to stop that train from heading through the station. I will tell you very transparently, there was already legal action being taken from many various parts. So we don't want to get our heads wrapped around and get too involved right now when it's probably going to look and shape much differently than it is right now. The advice from ASBSD, as well as many others, is we don't want to invest in curriculum. In fact, I don't know what that curriculum looked like because there is nothing to support what it looks like right now. There's still local control over how we would implement this. There are no ways to even, test against it. So we will talk about it at the local. I will point to Dr. Larson. I will point to all the administrators. But right now, there is nothing that we need to get too excited about because it is still, I would say, far, far, far from being baked out. But if there's questions, we can also talk more. So just, that was kind of the thing of, let's just kind of back away because it's going to look different than it does right now. So that's what I would say for right now. Questions, concerns? No? Okay.
I guess I got one other thing to just throw out. Congratulations for our indoor drum line. They, last weekend, I believe it was last weekend, they went to Ohio, competed very high in the, I'm going to get the class wrong, but it was the world class, the highest that a high school drum line could perform in. And out of 109 groups, they finished 20th. So this year, being their first year in the world, that was incredible. So obviously, hard work, dedication, we always preach that, and also for the parents and the volunteers that went and helped. So congratulations, especially since I'm a alumni drumline.
Well, and you were pretty good. They were open, yeah, world open, yeah. And if you're like me, you bought your Flow Marching subscription for $30 for 2 performances, and then you canceled it once you knew how to do that. That was tough for me. I'm not sure why. And then I also hear the rumor that this is musical week maybe at the high school. So if you haven't gotten your tickets. Yeah, it's too late. Oh, got mine. Phew, okay, slid under the radar there. All right, with that, takes us to the end of our agenda. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, and thank you for coming tonight.